up on Citrus TV News live at 6, the Sweet 16 Eastern Regionals are in Syracuse today. We'll have live coverage.
And SU Philanthropy Week wraps up today. We have all the coverage of the highlights.
And new updates on the Germanwings flight that crashed in France that show mental illness, maybe the root cause.
Flakes were flying earlier today as temperatures hovered just above freezing. It looks like spring doesn't want to stick around just yet.
Citrus TV News live at 6 starts right now. Welcome to Citrus TV News Live at 6. I'm Brian Cheung. Today is Friday, March 27th.
And I'm Nick Cardona. The NCAA tournament continues this weekend with some big games happening in the Carrier Dome. That is our top story tonight.
Syracuse University is hosting 2 games tonight as part of the NCAA tournament in the Carrier Dome. The first game is between number 8 NC State taking on number 4 Louisville at 7:45. This is followed by number 3 Oklahoma University versus number 7 seed Michigan State at 10:07 p.m. And right now we have Citrus TV sports anchor Tim Langlois at the Carrier Dome. Tim, what's going on?
Hey Brian, everyone's excited here at the Carrier Dome as a pair of Sweet 16 matchups are about to take place tonight. The gates open to the public at around 5:30, just about a half hour ago. Michigan State takes on Oklahoma. That's the late game, but first in Louisville. But all the coaches are excited at this opportunity as one of these teams will head to the Final Four.
Well, just that we're excited to be here. You know, it's been a different Michigan State year, and that doesn't mean a negative. It just not maybe the same kind of team we've been. I think
got great respect for Louisville. This is going to be, for us, a great challenge to play against them and Rick Pitino's team. But I like my team.
So you just have to find a way to win, and we found a way to win this year, and we've gotten better the last 3 weeks from an execution standpoint. So there's many different ways to win, and our guys are finding ways to do that.
In 16, 8 seed NC State and 7 seed Michigan State. So some upset-minded teams trying to go to Indy next weekend. Brian?
Tim, thank you so much. Now I want to ask you a little about what the atmosphere is like out there. It appears as if people haven't really gotten into the Dome yet. Are there more fans from one school over the other?
I think for this for this Sweet 16 rather, you're looking at maybe somewhere around 25,000 fans. The reason I say that is because when it was held here in 2010, the East Regional, that's about how many fans they got. Certainly people are come out and they're excited about it, but not at quite the level of an SU game because, as you know, here in Syracuse, people love their orange. Also, the ticket prices are pretty hefty for this event. Both games tonight, it's really 2 games, so only 1 ticket. So I would look for about 25,000, which is a decent crowd, but not a Duke crowd like an SU Duke game.
Thank you, Tim.
And in other campus news, Syracuse University is hosting its 4th annual Orange Ability Accessible Athletic Expo this Saturday from 1 to 4 p.m. in Flanagan Gym. Participants will have the chance to play wheelchair basketball, power soccer, sled hockey, and more. The event is free and open to the public, but participants are encouraged to sign up online at orangeability.syr.edu. And the Institute for Veterans and Military Families has announced that U.S. Secretary of Defense Ash Carter will be coming to SU on Tuesday. This is Carter's first domestic trip since taking office and will be discussing with students the future of the force and how the Department of Defense recruits. The event takes place in the Millennial Gray Ceremonial Hall in Deneen Hall, and tickets are available on Monday at the Shine box office. And University Union has announced another concert, this time taking place in Sky Barn. The South Campus location will host 2 artists, including Filipino-American artist Sweater Beats and rapper Michael Christmas. Both up-and-coming artists have gained small success recently on music sites and will be joining music festivals later this year. Tickets are available now at the Shine box office for $5.
We are less than a month away from Mayfest and Block Party, and the performers have not yet been announced. As anticipation rises, we asked students who they think and who they want as their headliner for Block Party. This is what they had to say.
My predictions are either Diplo, Ray Shrimmer, Janae Aiko, or The Weeknd. Those are my predictions.
Honestly, I'm not really sure who's going to Block so I have no idea.
And this brings us to our question of the day. Who do you think will be booked for Block Party? I've got my number on One Direction if that's too soon, but you can answer this question by tweeting us at CitrusTV News with the hashtag Citrus, QOTD. Women's lacrosse frontrunner Kelly Cross has been suspended indefinitely after being identified as the driver of the car that crashed into the Mount Steps early Monday morning. SU Athletics say that they're suspending her because of team rules violations. The steps to the Mount were reopened today, although officials say additional repair will be done in May.
Every year around this time, the university comes together to celebrate the university's founding. However, this week is also known as Philanthropy Week. Citrus TV reporter Jonathan Owens has a recap of this year's Philanthropy Week and what it means for the university.
Philanthropy Week is a week where students, faculty, and alumni can give back to not only the university, but also to society. According to Sam Edelstein, the assistant director in the Office of Alumni Engagement, philanthropy isn't just a week. It is also a way to represent who we are.
Philanthropy Week celebrates really all that SU is and all that people who have given to the university, everything that they've done to make it what it is today.
Philanthropy Week took place from Monday, March 23rd through yesterday, Thursday, March 26th, with a range of events taking place each day. The events range from Thank a Donor Day on Monday to seniors being able to give back as part of a Class Act Day on Wednesday, and are a way to tell the university community how important it is to give back.
This is just our way of being able to tell everybody on campus and whoever is part of the SU community how important giving back is. Today we get to celebrate the birthday, which we wouldn't be celebrating SU without having donors and people who have been philanthropic to the university.
Whether it be donations to help create scholarships or repair existing or build new buildings for campus, according to Edelstein, all their donations have made a difference, especially since after this week the university is run on donor gifts. As for the kind of impact that Syracuse University has had,
anytime that I've traveled anywhere, really, if I'm wearing a Syracuse shirt, someone comes up and says, I'm an alum too, or I grew up in Central New York. So it just has it has an important place here, but then also globally.
Jonathan Owens, Citrus TV News.
The annual Passover dinner has been moved to the Dome this year. The Winnick Hillel Center has moved the event every year as the demand for a bigger venue has increased. Ticket sales are available at the Hillel Center on Walnut Place and can be purchased with cash, credit, or SuperCard. The event takes place on April 3rd at 6 p.m. and we'll have more coverage on this event on the day.
And if you still need help with your taxes, you may be in luck. The Whitman School of Management has announced that they will offer free tax assistance to all students and faculty next Friday. The Beta Alpha Psi Tax Assistance Group will be offering advice and answering questions that cover non-complicated federal and New York State tax returns. The service is on a first-come, first-served basis and will take place in the Pflaum Grand Hall.
The Holden Observatory is being dedicated to former Biology Department Administrator Patricia Myers-Druger on Saturday. Druger passed away in January, and the observatory has been renovated in her honor. Arts and Sciences Dean Karen Roulan invites students to attend, and there is a keynote address by Dr. Story Musgrave. The dedication ceremony takes place in the Heroy Lobby at 11 a.m., followed by tours of the new Druger Astronomy Center. And coming up next, 2 people are missing after a building exploded and collapsed in New York.
And new updates on the Germanwings flight that crashed in France. We'll be right back.
Earlier today, the temperature outside right now is 33 degrees. We've got wind gusts up to 20 miles per hour that are making it feel even colder. Stay tuned. Citrus TV will be right back.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Don't look at me. Your hair's a bit frizzy today. Oh, you should pick that up. Oh, you're such a dork. Loser. Here, let me help you with that. Oops.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Oh, look. Your crush is looking at you. Poor you.
They want to help, but don't know how.
See, no one here's gonna help you, because no one
Teach your
likes
kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
Pretty much a good day for me would be people leaving their hands off of me. I'm always called names. Everywhere that I go, there's always someone calling me names, calling me gay. I've been choked, thrown up against a wall, punched. Nobody's ever tried to help me.
Welcome back. 2 people are still unaccounted for after a building exploded and collapsed in New York's East Village on Thursday. 25 people have been injured as the building engulfed in flames. Consolidated Edison inspectors say that workers were in the building an hour before the explosion, looking at a newly installed gas meter, but concluded that it was not ready for gas. New York Mayor Bill de Blasio says there will be no speculation of details until a full report has been released.
I've got to be more concerned about the country, the Senate, the state of Nevada, than us. And as a result of that, I'm not going to run for re-election.
Senate Minority Leader Harry Reid has decided to retire from his position. He will not be running for re-election in 2016. Reid says his decision has nothing to do with his injury, his ability to be re-elected, or his position as Minority Leader. Reid has endorsed New York State Senator Charles Schumer to take his place. Schumer has intended to begin the process of succeeding Reid immediately.
Indiana Governor Mike Pence is facing some criticism after passing a controversial religious freedom bill. The Religious Freedom Restoration Act prohibits state or local governments from substantially burdening a person's ability to exercise religion, which some activist groups say could lead to discrimination based on sexual orientation. Indiana is the 20th state to adopt such a law, although some say that this specific bill is broader than religious protection laws in other states. The University of Oklahoma has found that the racist chant used by the school's Sigma Alpha Epsilon fraternity was learned at a national SAE leadership cruise event. The university's findings show that the Oklahoma fraternity brothers had learned the chant from others and brought it back to campus. Many of the fraternity brothers had alcohol in their systems during the bus ride where the chant was captured on video. SAE leaders adamantly deny that this chant is part of their tradition.
Some new information on the plane crash in the French Alps that occurred this week. The Germanwings co-pilot accused of intentionally crashing a plane in the French Alps had an illness that he kept from his employer. Police discovered ripped medical leave notes in the trash at the co-pilot's apartment. The notes called for several days of medical leave, including the day of the crash that left 150 people dead. Officials did not say that the notes were related to a mental illness, but it appears that he was seeking treatment that the airline was unaware of. And at least 6 people are dead in the Somalian capital after gunmen raided a hotel. A car bomb exploded at the hotel entrance before gunmen entered the site, where one of the attackers blew himself up inside. Islamist militant group Al-Shabaab has claimed responsibility for the attack, claiming the fighters were conducting an operation against spies and government officials.
We have some breaking news on the Amanda Knox trial. Italy's top criminal court has overturned the Amanda Knox murder conviction. Knox was originally convicted for the 2007 slaying of her roommate and was sentenced to 28.5 years in prison. Her ex-boyfriend Rafael Solicito was also convicted for the 2007 murder. His conviction has also been overturned. Both Knox and Solicito were released immediately. Flakes were falling today, and it's making us question whether or not spring is actually here.
CitrusTV's Josh Bazan is here in studio to let us know what to expect. Josh, what's up?
That's right. Thank you, Nick. We're a week into spring, and the weather's been all over the place. Cold one day, warm the next. But luckily, next week it looks like we could be finally getting some consistency. Taking a look at what's going on outside right now. It's been a beautiful day today, a little bit on the cold side. The temperature is 35 degrees outside, and it's pretty windy. The wind coming in from the northwest at 17 miles per hour. If you look at the temperatures across the northeast, you can see the Great Lakes region is very frigid. It gets a little bit warmer down near New York City, but for the most part, relatively cold temperatures all across the northeast. This is a look at our current radar right now. As you can see, a lot of activity across central New York, a lot of precipitation. This system right here is going to be sweeping across the area, and it's going to be bringing some snow showers later tonight, so we're going to keep an eye out for that. Taking a look at what's going on tonight, those scattered flurries like I was just talking about, we got a low of 16 degrees, and it's going to be cloudy skies. Most of the snow is going to be concentrated out to our west, but all across central New York can expect at least an inch of accumulation overnight. This is our current traffic conditions right now. The NCAA tournament's in town, so that means the roads around the campus are going to be tied up, and 81 between I-690 and the Harrison Street exit is really backed up. The traffic right now is moving at about 10 miles per hour, so if you're taking that through the city, just be aware of that. 5-day forecast. The temperatures are going to drop even lower tomorrow, but we should see them moderate by early next week. Saturday, we got a high of 25 and 40% chance of precipitation. We'll see snow showers earlier in the day, but it's going to lighten up and transition to flurries later on. Sunday, it's going to warm up and the sun's going to break out through the clouds. It's going to be a high of 39 with clear skies. Monday and Tuesday, we got some precipitation. You can see Monday's going to have snow showers early in the morning and rain showers late, so that's going to be a mess. But Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, moderate temperatures, low to mid 40s early next week.
Thank you so much, Josh. Now I want to ask you a little bit about how the temperatures on Monday and Tuesday are just going over freezing. Is it going to be a mixed precipitation because of that? Is it going to be rain, or is it actually going to be a little bit of snow?
On Monday, what's going to happen is early in the morning we're going to have snow, and then as the temperatures climb up towards noon, later in the afternoon, it's going to turn into rain, so that's going to be pretty messy all day Monday. So Tuesday should be mostly just rain, but on Monday it's going to be pretty gross out.
Thanks, Josh.
Up next, a major CEO is planning to donate his entire fortune to charity.
And a popular TV show is over for good. We'll be right back.
Wake the sun, tell him that I've begun to dream of things to come. Tell the trees not to look for me. I'm going to find some peace of mind. Wake the sun, wake the sun, wake the sun, wake the sun.
Welcome back. Indiana Governor Mike Pence has declared a public health emergency due to an HIV outbreak in Scott County. 79 cases have been confirmed in Scott County since mid-December.
All cases have been linked to injection of the prescription drug opioid Opana. Health officials from the CDC are working with local law enforcement to stop the outbreak. And the Commerce Department announced that the U.S. economy grew by 2.2% in the past quarter, led by a significant increase in consumer spending.
However, U.S. consumer sentiment fell this month due to bad weather and rising gas prices. This is the largest gain in consumer spending in 8 years. And BlackBerry is still keeping themselves afloat after their quarterly report showing some financial gains. The phone maker has reported a net profit of $28 million, a big change from the $148 million loss just a year ago. However, revenue has dropped to $660 million, dropping from almost $800 million last year.
BlackBerry is currently transitioning from being a hardware to a software company, which is where much of their profits come from. Apple CEO Tim Cook may be worth hundreds of millions of dollars, but he's planning to give it all away. Cook has been quietly giving away some of his fortune to charities and also plans to cover his nephew's college education. The executive hasn't explained how he plans to share his wealth, as he is not the first major CEO to donate their fortune.
Former Microsoft CEO Bill Gates and current Berkshire Hathaway CEO Warren Buffett have launched the Giving Pledge, persuading billionaires to give at least half of their fortunes to charity. And some entertainment news. Downton Abbey offered unwashed masses a glimpse into the dramatic life of the early 20th century English nobility and will now be ending next season. The show is entering its 6th season and has announced the decision Thursday over Twitter.
The show offered a warm thanks to Twitter on fans who've stuck with it through the 5 seasons of Upstairs.
If you are a basketball fan, this day is for you. A lot of hardwood stories to cover, including the Sweet 16 coming to the Dome and some bad news for Kevin Durant and the Thunder. Plus, we have your Lax Fist as XU and Donor Day face off in Indiana. All that and more when Citrus TV returns.
Really?
Buzz, what's up, man? You left some leaves burning out here.
Yeah, I just came in just for a second.
Come on, man. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. You could torch the whole neighborhood.
It's a good point there, Smokey.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Body language can tell you all sorts of things. Like someone is having a stroke. Know the sudden signs. Learn fast. Face drooping, arm weakness, speech difficulty. Time to call 911 and get them to a hospital immediately. Learn the body language and spot a stroke fast.
So they say it's a man's world? I don't see anybody's name on it.
While they were doing their thing, we slowly changed ours.
Today, women can do anything men can do. And there's one thing we're even better at.
Welcome back. We'll start on the turf with the #1 ranked Syracuse lacrosse team takes its talents to South Bend for a matchup with #1 Notre Dame. If you haven't been keeping up, SU has a perfect 8-0 record on the season and last came off a dominant 19-7 performance against Duke last weekend. The Orange and the Fighting Irish ranked top 10 nationally in both scoring and offense and defense. The Cuse owns a 4-game conference winning streak, all of which come against the other teams in the ACC. Thursday, Coach John Desko said he couldn't be more pumped up for a matchup between the two best in the nation.
Well, I think with the exception of, a conference championship, we've met in the Big East in the conference championships, and last year with them in the ACC conference championship. Those are pretty big ones. So to go out there and have #1 play #2, it's just great. We're excited for the opportunity.
Game time is at 7 p.m. Over on the Hill, there is NCAA tournament action. The Carrier Dome hosts a Sweet 16 tonight with Louisville, NC State, Oklahoma, and Michigan State playing for a chance at the Elite Eight. The festivities begin with Louisville, NC State at 7:37. Afterwards, it's Michigan, Oklahoma at 10:07. And then we have some highlights from last night. It looks like Arizona Xavier starting off with Xavier coach Chris Mack and coach Sean Miller. And then early on, it is Matt Stainbrook who gets the hoop in the arm. Xavier keeping it close, 14-13. And then Stanley Johnson hits a three-pointer from the corner. Arizona takes a 4-point lead. And then Miles Davis finds Jalen Rose with the hammer. It's 25-24 Arizona. Then TJ McConnell late in the game hits a three-pointer, puts Arizona up by a lot. And then Brandon Ashley hits the dagger, 62-57 right there. Arizona wins 68-60. And then it's UNC versus Wisconsin. And then first off, we got Kennedy Meeks hits a jumper over Frank Kaminsky, and UNC goes up 3 early on. And then it's the Sam Decker show as Sam Decker lays one in here and then gets the rebound, tips it twice to end the half with a buzzer beater. Later on, Joel Berry, the second, knocks down a three-pointer to keep UNC in front 49-44. And then it's Zach Showalter with a nice reverse layup to get Wisconsin to lead 61-60. Marcus Page doing his best to keep UNC in the game, but Sam Decker was just way too much. The drive, the spin, and the layup, Wisconsin wins 79-72. And then some other games last night. We got #6. Oh, well, it was, we saw the games. #6, Arizona defeating #2, #2 Arizona defeating #6 Xavier. And then earlier in the day it was Kentucky. We didn't have that score up there. Kentucky, then overall #1 seed defeating, the Kentucky defeating West Virginia. The Oklahoma City Thunder hoped its star and reigning MVP Kevin Durant will help lead them to a playoff push, but those hopes were vanished today when the team announced KD would sit out the rest of the season. The forward will have bone graft surgery on his injured right foot. Durant will have the procedure early next week and will be out 4 to 6 weeks. And back on the turf, number 7 ranked SU women's lacrosse team travels to Durham for a top 10 battle with number 6 Duke. Syracuse faces Duke for the second time ever, with the last meeting being at the Carrier Dome last season. 6 of the last 8 matches for the Cuse have been too close for comfort, as they have been decided by only 1 goal. SU will be without midfielder Kelly Cross, who was suspended indefinitely Friday for violating team rules connected with the car accident on the Mount Monday morning.
All right, Kevin, so Kentucky, big win over West Virginia. Are they still the favorite? What do you think?
Well, they blew out West Virginia by 40. So you got to think they're probably going to be penciled into the Final Four. Maybe in the national championship game. I wouldn't say, because it's so hard to win, and when all that pressure is on you, trying to get to an undefeated season, and they are just a lock to win it. But it's definitely really, really, really going to be tough to beat them.
Well, wait and see. Thanks, Kevin.
We'll be right back.
Thank you, dear. Well, you're very supple. Just like I was at your age. Back then, I was a sex expert. Used to call me the buttered biscuit. I know about birth control, too. So you can ask me anything, baby.
Bedsider.org has birth control information and a lot more. And it's...
Have you had sex in this car yet?
Preventing wildfires. That's all Smokey wants for his 70th birthday.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. But it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Josh Mazan is back now. What are we wearing tomorrow morning?
Well, tomorrow morning, it's actually going to be a little warmer. It's going to get colder later on in the day. It's going to be in the low 30s or high 30s, low 40s in the morning. But if you're staying out later in the day, it's going to get to 25. So it depends on what you're doing.
Now, what about people going out tonight for the game? What should they be wearing?
Tonight for the game, we should be seeing some scattered snow showers later tonight. So bundle up, wear a hat, gloves, scarf, coat.
All right. Thanks, Josh.
Thanks, Josh.
Kevin Ryans is back with a look at the games tonight. What are your predictions for the games tonight at the Dome?
Well, it's going to be a tough one with the ACC teams, Louisville and NC State going out. I think I'm going to take Louisville going to the Elite Eight again with Rick Pitino. That'd be the 1 win, and then Michigan State holding off against Oklahoma.
All right, well, that's good. Thank you so much, Kevin. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Kevin.
And that about does it. Thank you for joining us. I'm Nick Cardona.
And I'm Brian Cheung. Be sure to follow us on all social media platforms and to answer our question of the day. Have a great weekend, Syracuse.